Okay, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, it's good to see you again. My name is Irna Widyana Azizah from 4A English Education Department of UIN Jakarta. So in this video, I'm going to tell you a review of a textbook under the title A Student's Guide to Tropical Marine Biology. So in this video, firstly, I'm going to tell you the short description about this book. Secondly, I'm going to tell you what are the good points about this book. Thirdly, I'm going to tell you the worst point about this book. And lastly, I'm going to give you my honest opinion about this book, whether I like it or not. Well, of course, if I like this book, I will gladly recommend this to you. Okay, then let's get started. So, A Student's Guide to Tropical Marine Biology is a reference book written by the Keene State College students. So, this book is written in order to educate us about the tropical marine biology. So, it is, of course, about the tropical marine biology, including its fishes, its environment, its ecosystem, its problem, and many other things. And it is, of course, dedicated for students. It consists of 287 pages. So I'm going to show you the table of contents. This book consists of 5 chapters, which is called the parts. The part 1 is coral reefs and diversity. Part 2 is common fish in the coral reef. Part 3, environmental threats. Part 4, reef conservation. And Part 5, major marine phyla. So, as you can see in this table of contents, the book can be divided into 3 main parts. So, the first part is the introduction. It consists of Part 1 and Part 2 in this book. So, it introduces us to the oceans and the most important things in the tropical marine, which is the coral reefs. Then it also introduced us to the common fish in the coral reefs. Then the second main part is it stated the problem. So the problem is the environmental threats, and the third part is that it states the solution. So the problem is the environmental threats and the solution is the reef conservation. Then the last chapter, I think this is just additional information for us that in the ocean there are many phyla, and this is the major marine phyla. Okay, then I think that's all for the short description. Okay, then I'm going to tell you what is this book best for. So, what I like the most about this book is very well organized. So, as I said before, it introduced us to the materials before it states the problem, before it states the detailed information. Okay, for example, this coral reefs, an introduction. So before going to the detailed information about the coral reefs, it introduced us about what is the coral reefs. So, well, not many people know that coral reefs are not just rocks. So it introduced us to the coral reefs, then it provided us with detailed information like this. This is the part of the coral reefs and how do corals survive and many other things about coral reefs. It makes me easy to understand this book even though I'm not in biology major. Then the second good point about this book is that this book provide us with many pictures. So, well, books with many pictures are surely interesting, but in this book, pictures are really important. Well, let's take an example. In this film credita in the nearly last page. This chimera. So if I don't see the picture of the chimera here, I will assume that chimera is some kind of animal fusions, as I have read in the stories like this in Hunter x Hunter, for example. And it is really gross, and I can't imagine that there is a fish like this, and the description is also weird, and at least for me it is not enough to describe a chimera. What is the chimera like? But fortunately it provides us with the picture like this. Oh, so I know that chimera is a creepy creatures, a creepy fish from the bottom of the ocean. This, ta-da! It's really creepy, isn't it? So that's why pictures here really help me to understand this book. Then, okay, I'm going to show you the beautiful image after that creepy image. This, ta-da! It's really beautiful, isn't it? So that's it. And the third one is that it provides us with the importance of something before it states the problem. For example, this. At the first chapter, we are introduced, we are being explained about why do oceans matter. So I think this is really interesting because it makes me curious about this book. It makes me realize that oceans is important for human being and for the world. Then after it states the importance of the oceans, it states the problems like this, the environmental threats. So if we know the importance of something, we can be concerned about the threats. So we will be concerned that, well, if the threats are not being overcome, it will be dangerous for us, and like that. Then it will also encourage us to find the solution to overcome the threats. Then the fourth thing that I really like about this book is that it really explains something interestingly. Okay, like this. Let's take an example like this. What are corals, you ask? A little bit algae, a little bit rock, and a lot animal. So it is a really interesting way to describe what corals are. So if I'm not a biology major, I will probably not going to understand what is the coral reefs just by reading this. If this book introduced coral reefs are as something that belong to the same phylum of Cnidarians, I will not understand what coral reefs are. But instead of that, this really introduced us with a really friendly language. Easy language. Okay, so a little bit algae, a little bit rock, and a lot animal. So in conclusion, it's some kind of animals, but it look like rock. It often mistaken for a rock, and it is a little bit algae, a little bit plant. Okay, that's it. Then it also provides us with links so we can explore more about this book. So for example, like this, if we click these blue underlined words, okay, we will be directed to this Wikipedia. So the explanation in this book is short, but we can still explore this book if we still not understand or if we still curious about it by clicking the blue words, and it will direct us to this Wikipedia. So we will be well informed about this. Okay, then that's all the good points about this book. Okay, then I will tell you what are the parts that I dislike about this book. So it is not a big problem, but it surely disturbed me about when I'm reading this. For example, the inconsistency of the font. As you can see here, the font, the letters are all uppercase, while in this picture, the font, the letters are not uppercase. Well, it is really not a big problem, but it seems kind of unprofessional for a book to be like this. And the second problem that I found about this book is that it really leaves a lot of blank pages like this. Ta-da! So if we read this book like this with a lot of words here and suddenly we find this blank page, it surely is disappointing. Well, I think it will be better if this part is just being moved here, because well, there are still lots of spaces here. Well, it's not a big problem, so I don't really feel disappointed about it. So in conclusion, we can say that there are more good sides in this book than the bad sides. So in conclusion, this book is really good, and of course I like this book very much and I recommend this to you. So this book is really suitable for students and for the beginners of the biology and for, well, almost every people. And I really recommend this to you because it makes us aware of our environment, our oceans. It made us realize that oceans are important for us and we have to help the oceans. We have to save the oceans because we need the oceans, because the oceans are important for us. So I hope you will read this book and I bet that you will like it too. Okay, I think that's all for me. If you have any thoughts or any experience, please share it to me on the comments below. Okay, don't forget to put your thumbs up if you like this video and don't forget to subscribe. Okay, thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Goodbye.